The island. It is my island, and is both near and far from here. Far from anywhere. 3 souls only live here. Me, I am Prospero, who once 12 years ago was Duke of Milan. My daughter, Miranda, who has known nothing but this island since she was a little girl. And my brutish slave, Caliban, who, sullen and grudging, works at menial tasks for us and brings in wood. 3 souls, did I say? Well, there's a 4th, though some would hesitate to call him soul. Who can say? He is Ariel, a spirit who helps weave the magic I command. Ariel! Chick!
All hail, great master, great sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds. To thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all his quality.
Attend and wait, Ariel.
Master.
12 years ago, my brother Antonio plotted to throw me out of Milan. Did throw me out, with help from the kingdom of Naples. I was cast adrift on hostile seas in a rotting carcass of a boat, and nothing with me but my little daughter and my books of magic. And Antonio is now the Duke of Milan, the wrongful Duke. But here and now, Antonio, with Alonso, King of Naples, his son Ferdinand, the king's sister Sebastian, and their royal entourage are sailing by my island on their way back from Tunis, a state visit for the wedding of Alonso's daughter Claribel. They would sail by entirely and never know the existence of this place. But I have other plans. Ariel! What's wanted now is a storm to wreck the king's ships and strand the whole company here. The Tempest that I bade thee.
To every article. I boarded the Queen's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck. In every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors of the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad, and played some tricks in desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son Ferdinand, with hair up staring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here.
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I have left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, in a deep nook she's hid. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labours, I have left asleep. And as for the rest of the fleet whom I dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wracked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. After 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Those 3 plotters from my past, Antonio, Sebastian, and Alonso, King of Naples, are now all here on my island. There must be meetings. There will be meetings. First my daughter with the king's son, Ferdinand. Then Caliban. There must be meetings too for him.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, dens, flats, on prosper fall and make him voyage meal a disease. My spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. Now they'll not pinch me, fright me with their chinchos, pinch me in the mire, gnawing me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle they'll set upon me.
Here come others of the king's party. His butler, Stefano, who somehow managed to swim ashore with a crate of the king's wine. And Trincula, the king's jester.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites. That's a brave god and their celestial liquor. I'll yield to him.
Oh, Trincula, how didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Well, swear by this bottle how thou camest hither, where I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard by this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hand since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthy.
Here. Swear then how thou escapedst.
Swam ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Honk! Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
Oh, the whole butt, man. My cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. Oh, how now, moon calf?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man of the moon when time was.
I have seen her in thee, and I do adore thee. I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee be my god.
By this light, a perfidious and drunken monster. When's God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Well, come on then. Down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. monster. I could find it in my heart to beat it.
Come, kiss.
Oh, but the poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee. Thou wondrous man, wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Tricula, the king and all our company else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Tricula, we'll fill him by and by again.
Ban, cacale, ban, has a new master, get a new man. Freedom, heyday, freedom, freedom!
Oh, brave monster!
As I told thee, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, who by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest? Thou jesting monkey, thou! I would that my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Tricula, if you trouble him any more in's tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth.
Why? I said nothing.
Well, mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say by sorcery he got the isle. For me he got it. If thou greatest will, revenge it on him, for I know thou darest. Unless then dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee. Yea, my lord, I'll yield him to thee asleep, where thou canst knock a nail in his head.
Thou liest. Thou canst not.
What a pied ninny's this? Thou scurvy patch!
Tricula, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
Why? I did nothing. I'll go farther on.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
Oh, do I so? Well, take thou that. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
I did not give the lie. Out of your wits and bearing too. A pox on your bottle. Fisk and sack and drinking dew. A murrain on your monster. And the devil take your fingers.
Now, forward with your tale. Prithee, stand farther off.
As I told thee, 'tis a custom with him in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain him, having first seized his books, or with a log batter his skull, or punch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with a knife. Remember, first to possess his books. Without them he's but a sot, as I am. North one's spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books. He has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal. And that which most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil.
Is it so brave a lass?
Aye, my lord, she'll become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces.
Excellent.
Give me thy hand, I am sorry I beat thee. Oh, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour he will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honour.
This will I tell my master.
What is this same?
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then, in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches, ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, or I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed.
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after do our work.
Lead, monster. We'll follow.
Come, with a thought I thank thee, Ariel, come!
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. Say again, where didst thou lead these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valour that they smote the air for breathing in their faces and beat the ground for kissing of their feet. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul laker stunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Oh, a devil! A born devil! On whose nature nurture can never stick, on whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring.
Sit here and rest. In here I will give up all hope. My son is drowned, whom thus we stray to find. And the sea mocks our search.
The king and all his party magically asleep. What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. And yet, methinks I do see it in thy face, what thou shouldst be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head. Thus, so, although his loyal courtiers have almost here persuaded him, the king, his son's alive, 'tis as impossible he's undrowned as he who sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is in Queen in Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. How can that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wait. Say, this were death that now hath seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Oh, that you had a mind that I do, or to sleep with this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do. I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True, and look how well my garments sit upon me, much feater than before. My brother's servants were once my fellows, now they are my men.
And for your conscience?
Aye, sir, where lies that? I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stood twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that, which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever.
And his courtiers here?
For all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou godst Milan, I'll come by Naples.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, you do the like.
Now, Ariel, my chick, now!
You are three souls of sin, whom destiny, the tasked instrument of this low world, what is in it, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch at you. And on this island, where man does not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valor men hang and drown their brother selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements from whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemock-tapped stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are alike invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massive for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child. For this foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures, against your peace. Oh, what is this creature? Fly! Fly!
My charms work, and these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power. Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel, a grace it had devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hast to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done. Now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How's the day?
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so, when first I raised the Tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers?
Confined together, in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fens your cell. They cannot budge till your release. Your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason 'gainst my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, And ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. And you, whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew. By whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up. The pine and cedar graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped, and led them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee, but yet thou shalt have freedom. Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these our dear beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave. I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sails so expeditious that shall catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick, that is thy charge, and then to the elements be free. And fare thou well. Please you, draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell. But release me from my bands with the help of your good hands. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails, which was to please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant, and my ending is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.